Alright, welcome back to more Metal Than Metal. This week we're going to be talking about Alestorm. We're going to go through all 5 of their albums, plus one of their EPs. And
I think you might have forgotten to do something.
What?
Mention our names.
Names? They don't need our names, Sean. Fine.
They.
It's Jack and Sean, if that's what you really want to know.
Jack, I'm really hurt by this. You know that? I don't like it when you yell at me. It makes me uncomfortable. I don't know if I can do this.
I'm sorry, Sean. Can we record the episode now?
Okay.
Okay. So we're going to talk about them in chronological order. The first album being Captain Morgan's Revenge. And I think the first track we want to talk about is the title track. Oh wait, did you say you like the intro?
The intro to the song "Over the Seas." It's an alright song. Yeah, I mean it's an alright song. I don't think I have a lot to say on it, honestly. It's just kind of
starter song.
Yeah, it's kind of the starter song that you'd expect from an album.
Yeah.
It's definitely on like a list of bad to good intro songs. I'd put it like somewhere like maybe at the lower end of good, maybe.
Okay, but it's not bad.
But it's not bad, no.
Okay.
It's like a little bit beyond the middle point.
So on to the title track, which is a good story song. It's got a whole plot. It's they take revenge on the captain, so he naturally curses them, and then they're all cursed till the day they die. All that stuff. This is pirate metal, so it's it's a curse.
Pirate metal.
Yeah,
pirate metal. That's kind of how you describe
well
it.
with Pirates of the Caribbean. I feel like Alestorm are basically Pirates of the Caribbean in a band.
Yeah, I suppose you could say that.
Maybe slightly more adult, but only slightly.
Yeah.
A little bit more rum and
rum.
Yeah.
Yeah, rum's kind of a pirate drink, I guess. Maybe ale too.
Yeah.
Well, they are called Alestorm, so.
Yeah, so they clearly like a drink. What was the other song here? Nancy the Tavern Wench was one you liked, right?
Yeah, that's one I did like off this album. Yeah, though I thought that was an interesting song. That's kind of one of the singles off this song too. Yeah, it's definitely a sing-along track, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
I think it's
like all Alestorm songs.
Yeah, well,
that's where Alestorm are at their peak.
Specifically this one. Yeah, that's right. I don't know. I really like this song just because I mean, this one feels like a sing-along more so than the other songs, in my opinion.
Hmm.
Yeah, this is me,
really
but
a standout sing-along track on this album, except for that one, I guess.
I don't know. It just stood out to me personally, but
there is the final track, which is "Flower of Scotland," which is a very interesting song because it's actually a cover by an old '60s band called the Corries, and apparently it's like the unofficial anthem of Scotland. It's what they play at all their soccer games and all that stuff.
That doesn't make sense to me. It's like unofficial, but it's official. It's like non-paper, but
I don't know. That's as far as my research went. Okay.
You know what, Jack? I'm not okay with your minimum research skills. I must know the final answer.
Well, we can figure that out later.
All right, that's true. I guess that's right.
Whatever it is, it's a patriotic song towards Scotland. And Alestorm are Scottish, so naturally they put it at the end of the album.
Well, it'll still be a mystery, but I guess that's what Google's for.
Yeah. So on to the second album, I guess, which is Black Sails at Midnight. And this has one of my favorite Alestorm songs on it, which is called Keelhauled. And we did do the research for this, and we did find out what keelhauled means.
Yes, we did. Prior to when this episode was actually functioning.
Yeah.
We didn't mention this at the beginning, but we had to re-record this episode because it broke. But yeah, we did look up keelhauled. I think it's when you drag the victim along the ship.
Underneath the ship on a rope and then pull them up the other side.
I'm trying to think of. I know it's a torture method, but
Are you trying to figure out the physics of it? Because I don't
Yeah, I'm trying.
understand the
That's what.
physics.
I'm trying to think of the physics of it. Yeah,
How do you get him to go underneath that?
They do a rope, but then
How
does
does
he
it?
skid across the bottom?
Yeah,
Or,
whatever. Nobody knows.
it's weird. I don't know. Weird physics there.
Well, whatever it is, that's another good sing-along song. I think the line goes, no, I've lost the line. Something about landlubbers and keel hauling. But
Landlubbers.
lovely, lovely word there.
Oh yeah, that's a lovely word.
What else is on this album? Well, there's an interesting cover by Pirates of the Sea called Wolves of the Sea, which is an interesting song because you listen to it and you're like, well, this just sounds like an Alestorm song. But it's actually a pop song, so you're like, huh?
Yep.
Apparently it was a Eurovision Song Contest song, and it's... And I don't know what's wrong with the Eurovision, but... What?
No.
John's telling me not to play this stuff while we're recording.
Jack's trying real hard to mess up the audio recording for this episode.
I'm sorry.
We've already had problems with that. We already have a shitty setup right now.
Alright.
We don't need anything worse.
Okay, was there anything else on this album you wanted to talk about?
Not really. I'll be honest, this is probably my least favorite album out of the 5 that they did, personally.
With the exception of Keelhold, it's not a great album, really.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything really memorable on this album, in my opinion. So I think we can move on to the 3rd album.
Which is my favorite album, and it's called Back Through Time. The first track, which is the title track, is about them finding a time machine and going back to the Viking era and fighting Vikings.
That's already a fucking badass concept.
Yeah. Although what would have been cool is if they got a Viking metal band to do part of the song with them. That would have made it even cooler, but...
I don't know. I'm sure they're probably mortal enemies, so...
Yeah.
They probably have a hard time getting along.
Maybe.
That might be why.
Then this album also has a song called Shipwrecked, which is, I think, the video track from this album. It's very piratey thing. It's got a midget with a fiddle, which is hilarious. But I don't know what's with pirates and midgets. Why do they always do that?
That's a great question.
I
wish I had an answer for that.
You just have to have one. That's just
you need a
bucket
midget.
List. Check. Done that. Okay, moving on.
If you want to play in a pirate metal band, you gotta have a midget in the band.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, this was fitting, as that also has a fiddle.
Yeah.
Like you said. Wow. References.
We also got a song called The Sunken Norwegian, which is referring to the name of a pub, and I think it's like one more drink at the Sunken Norwegian before we have to die, or that sort of thing.
We have to dial.
Die. Before we have to die.
We have to die. Dial. I'm missing. I don't know. The syntax here. I don't know.
Why are pirates dialing? They don't have phones.
That's what I thought I heard you say. My hearing's probably not that great.
And another song on this album is one of their funnier songs called "Scraping the Barrel," which is basically just about how they run out of things to sing about.
Best song on this album, hands down.
No more songs to be sung, and then they go on and do 2 more albums. So clearly there were some more songs to be sung, but hey, who knows?
I'm sure they had to scrape that out of a barrel, Jack.
Yeah.
I'm sure they had to take out
the top of the barrel, though.
Probably they probably have like a whole barrel full, and they're like, oh,
they can't actually reach all
this.
the way down. So there's like
they're just scraping off the top first until they can get to the bottom.
Mm-hmm. And I guess we wanted to fill in this bit with one of their EPs, which was not really an EP, more of a single. But it was basically just a cover of In the Navy by the Village People, which is pretty funny. And you kind of listen to it and you're like, this is kind of crappy. But then you listen to the Village People version and you're like, no, wait, it's actually pretty good. And then it also has a remix of Shipwreck called the Drop Goblin remix, which is basically like dubstepped Alestorm, which is really weird. But...
Well, let's be fair. Pretty much anything that Alestorm does is weird.
Yeah.
They're a weird band.
Even if somebody else is doing it for them.
Oh, yeah.
So on to the 4th album now. which is Sunset on the Golden Age. Another, like, this isn't their last album. Why is it called Sunset on the Golden Age? But whatever. And this has one of their best songs, which is Drink. Has some of the best lyrics that Alestorm have written. See if I can find some of them here.
Well, Jack's looking that up. So I think, what did you think of the intro song? I thought it was a pretty decent intro. Walk the Plank.
It's okay.
Pretty alright intro too.
Yeah.
I mean, we were talking about intros for the first one.
Yeah.
I thought that was an alright one too.
I feel like your first album's intro is more important than any others because nobody knows what to expect with the first album. That's true.
Well, I think the first song on the album is probably the most important on every album, just because if you have a bad intro track, it really it's hard to keep listening to the album because you're like, oh man, this is not any good for a good ride. Yeah. But I don't know.
I found the lyrics now, and I think this is one of my favorite choruses ever. I'm gonna read the whole thing, so it's maybe a second. So we are here to drink your beer and steal your rum at the point of a gun. Your alcohol to us will fall, because we are here to drink your beer. We are here to drink your beer and steal your rum at the point of a gun. And then the alcohol to us will fall, because we are here to drink your beer.
We are here to drink your beer and steal your rum at the barrel of a gun.
Point of a gun, but yeah.
Point of a gun. Oh, sorry. Whatever the difference is.
Great fun.
Guns.
What else we got? Although I will mention this album also has a really stupid song called Wooden Leg, which is just like, I've got a wooden leg. It's like, really?
But you're not talking about Hangover?
I am going to talk about Hangover. It's after Wooden Leg. So this is the weirdest thing Alestorm has ever done, which is Hangover, which is a cover by Teo Cruz. And you're like, what? Huh? I don't understand.
What is this?
Yeah, it's just...
What are they doing with this?
It wasn't a great idea, to be honest. And I feel like the main problem is they didn't change the song enough. It sounds...
Too much the same?
Yeah, it just sounds like they played the song with their instruments, when really they should have changed some of the instruments.
Wasted time?
Yeah.
I'm trying to make references here, Jack.
What?
Look behind you.
Well, they can't see that I've got a poster of the Wasted Years single by Iron Maiden behind me.
I guess I'm just padding this episode out.
Okay.
I'm scraping the barrel, padding this episode out.
Yeah. Even though we're only on like our what? 5th episode or something like that.
I'm trying hard.
Okay.
I'm scraping what little's there.
So I guess we have now come to this year's album, No Grave But the Sea. And I'm not a big fan of this album, but Sean, I think this is one of your favorites, right?
I'll be honest. I think it's just for that "Fucked with an Anchor" song, but
yeah.
We'll get to that. We'll talk about it.
So they finally wrote a song called Alestorm.
Well, this isn't my favorite. This isn't going back to that. This isn't my favorite album.
First one.
Yes.
Okay. That makes more sense. Well, yeah, the only song really worth talking about is "Fuck with an Anchor," which is hilarious. Do you want to sing it?
Fuck you, you're a fucking wanker. We're gonna punch you right in the balls. Fuck you with a fucking anchor.
You're all cunts, so fuck you all.
Go! Actually, it doesn't just go, but it goes into another clear verse. But, yeah, that's definitely a standout track in the song.
It's so stupid.
I mean, there are other singles that got really popular off this album, like Mexico and Alestorm, but that song
rises above the top.
Yeah. I like the intro for this.
Comic value.
I like the intro for this album more than pretty much any intro for all the other albums. So that may be another reason why I place this album higher above some of them. Just because I think the intro for this song is really good.
Yeah. Now I just remember the funny thing about what Alestorm right now is. Do you know what tour they're on right now?
What?
Do you know what tour they're on right now?
Oh, no.
The Vans Warped Tour. Huh?
What?
Yeah.
Okay, if you can't see my face, I'm giving a confused look to Jack, because what in the world?
What is Vans Warped different than what it used to be, or something? Is it now a power metal tour? I didn't know.
I don't know.
I thought Vans Warped was like new metal and stuff like that, but
I don't know. Well,
I guess not.
I guess Alestorm is a popular
Novel
band.
enough that they
I
can
guess.
do that.
Yeah. I kind of fit that.
Well, at least they get to play shows, right?
Yeah, I suppose, that's definitely better than nothing. I can't really complain too much.
So now that we're out of albums, we're gonna rank the albums, right?
Yeah, and I know we mentioned that we did this episode before, and it kind of messed up.
And
hopefully this one doesn't
mess up. We've actually forgotten what we ranked them last time, so we're doing it again.
I think we're gonna do a new ranking because I think Jack's kind of changed my mind a little bit on No Grave But the Sea.
Really?
A little bit. Well, I still really like the album, but I don't know. I think we put it number 2 earlier.
Did we?
I think so.
Yeah.
Now I think we might bump it down 1.
Okay. Well, I'll be happy about that. So, but what are we gonna say? The worst one is.
I still say Black Sails at Midnight.
Really? Black Sails?
I still say Black Sails at Midnight. I think that's their worst one.
Okay, we'll put that at 5 then. And then 4 is what, Sunset?
I guess, yeah.
So
I'll
4
accept
Sunset,
it.
3 No Grave But the Sea.
Okay, then Back Through Time.
Yeah, and then the first Captain Morgan's Revenge.
Yeah.
Best Alestorm ever is what we're saying there.
Yeah, I think that's a decent listing. That's a little bit better than I think our earlier.
It always sucks to be a band whose first album was their best.
Well,
not a good place to be.
I disagree. Well, I disagree. Sometimes you have such a great that reminds me of speaking of Cavalier Conspiracy. I know they're releasing another album, but I mean their first albums. They only have 3 albums right now as of this moment, but I mean their first album was so good that it's hard to beat that. It's just hard to measure up. Not to say that their other albums are bad. It's just to say that it's just hard to beat such a great debut.
I guess so long as you don't do what Linkin Park did and make 2 great albums and then a bunch of terrible ones that nobody likes.
And then this shit albums.
Right off a cliff.
At least with Cavalier Conspiracy, people kind of care about some of their other albums too. But we're kind of going off on parade. So do you want to talk about what we're doing next?
What's next? Well, I think it's Mad Max, right?
Yeah.
But we're thinking about cutting that short because we feel like it's gonna just go on forever. So
yeah, we kind of. I guess we weren't really planning. I don't know. I guess we weren't really planning on it taking that long.
Yeah, it took a lot longer than I was expecting.
Yeah. And I think we kind of want to move on to other games.
So we're just gonna start capping games at 4 episodes. If it takes longer than 4,
yeah, then we'll probably skip another one.
Unless it's somehow super entertaining. But I don't see that happening.
Yeah, I mean, we have had some entertaining moments with Mad Max, but I think it's time we move on a little bit. I think what was our next game going to be? I think it was Command and Conquer, right?
Command and Conquer Generals, right?
Yeah, I think so. That's what we're going to do next. So we'll probably go through one campaign on that. I think I'm going to let Jack decide because he's going to be the one playing it. So
because we're playing each other's games.
Yeah.
See what happens.
So I really want to see if I can convince him to play hard because I want to see how he does on that.
It's just gonna get murdered. Why don't we do the campaign and then we can do it on hard and see what happens.
Oh boy. Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
That's next week, and then after that we're gonna do a punk episode. Top 10 punk albums from both of us.
Yeah.
I'm trying to convince Sean to not fill his up with hardcore acts and have a bit of diversity in his.
Well, I included the Exploited, which are a little bit different from hardcore. A little bit. They've done some other stuff other than hardcore, but
that's next time.
It's hard. I don't know. Yeah. I think we'll talk more about punk next time. But I think you mentioned that our next episode is going to be Command and Conquer, but I think we have a few more Mad Max to release, and then we're done.
Yeah, something like that.
Well, you'll be seeing it soon, so I think we're gonna head off.
Yep, that is us out. Goodbye.